We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us, and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. That's a powerful quote, but it wasn't just a soundbite from a civil rights leader. For Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., it was a spiritual truth. Think about it. Here was a man who faced down incredible hate, violence, and injustice. Yet he understood something many of us still struggle with. Forgiveness isn't just a nice idea. It's the very thing that makes love possible. But how did he hold on to that belief with so much anger aimed at him? And what does that mean for us and the grudges we might be holding on to right now? It all goes back to the deep, powerful connection between his message and the teachings of Jesus Christ. Dr. King's philosophy on forgiveness wasn't just a political strategy. It was born directly from his deep Christian faith. He was echoing the command of Jesus to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. MLK knew that holding on to unforgiveness is like building your own spiritual prison. Jesus actually warned about this in the parable of the unforgiving servant. In the story, a man is forgiven an impossible debt by his king, a debt he could never repay. But then, that same man turns around and refuses to forgive someone who owed him a tiny amount. The lesson is striking. If we've been forgiven so much by God, how can we refuse to forgive the much smaller debts owed to us? It teaches us that forgiveness doesn't mean you're saying the evil act was okay. Instead, it frees you from the weight of bitterness and breaks the barrier it puts up in your relationship with God. So, does any of this sound familiar? Maybe you're carrying that same kind of weight right now. A betrayal from a friend that still stings. A hurt from a family member that feels impossible to get over. Holding on to that bitterness makes it impossible to truly love. It's a spiritual sickness that can take over your heart. But there is a cure. It's found in that brave act of faith, choosing to forgive. Not because the other person earned it or even deserves it, but because you deserve peace. It's that moment you decide to let go of the anger, not for them, but for your own soul, for your own freedom. In the end, it's a powerful challenge. To love like God loves, we first have to learn to forgive like God forgives. It all comes back to that one simple, profound warning. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. Let's find the strength to let go so we can finally have the grace to truly love.